and welcome to this special broadcast. As you all know, Times Network has initiative, the India Revival Mission. And today my guest is the top boss for Nokia in India, Sanjay Malik. Hi Sanjay, a pleasure talking to you. Thanks so much for joining us. This is Nantara Rai, working from home. So as India continues to unlock, as India revives its economy, we at the Times Network are setting the roadmap, the stage of what all needs to be done. So let's focus on communication, 5G, digital with you. Sanjay, how have the last couple of weeks been, and going forward, Nokia, I believe, has big plans for Aatmanirbhar Bharat?
Okay, thank you very much, Nantara, and greetings to you also. Last couple of months has been a little bit difficult because of the pandemic. But at the same time, I think we have to congratulate the telecom industry, which is basically making you and me talk on this interview. And first of all, I would like to thank the telecom warriors who are still going out there and maintaining the network so that it can enable the economical revival. And congratulations on coming out with such a nice topic. So yes, I think from Nokia perspective, I would say that we have been able to manage all these networks. We have been able to grow these networks, and at the same time support Aatmanirbhar Bharat campaign. So let me come to this topic of Aatmanirbhar Bharat. So there, first thing I would congratulate our Honorable Prime Minister for coming out with this initiative. And first thing I would like to say that what does Aatmanirbhar Bharat means? And for a company, for an organization, it means that whoever invests in India and whoever creates value for India. Okay, so now let me just give you a little bit perspective on what does it mean that creating value for India. So creating value in terms of job creation, creating value in terms of manufacturing from India, exporting from India, and working on the latest technology. And from that perspective, Nokia has been spearheading that campaign for last 25 years. And let me kind of touch a couple of points on that. So first, from manufacturing perspective, we have 1 out of 2 plants globally here in India, and where we manufacture the latest technology. In fact, although 5G is still not there, but we manufacture 5G products from there and export it to some of the developed countries. So we manufacture maybe a value of about 3,000 crore per year from this factory. And out of that 1,500 crores, 50% of this is getting exported. So that basically shows the value creation. We have about 15,000 people sitting here in India and who are into developing 5G products again for the global market. All right. So that's the job creation. Then on third part, and the third part is then we have people sitting here in India who are deploying and managing networks for the other developed countries. So overall, you would be pleased to know that we do about $1 billion US dollars kind of forex earning for India sitting here in India. So that's basically what I'm saying, that this is the value which we create, and that is supporting Aatmanirbhar Bharat.
Okay, Sanjay, let's go one by one. You've spoken a lot about 5G. The 5G trials are on. Now, you've had Mr. Mukesh Ambani at the 43rd Annual General Meeting talking about a homegrown company that is going to support 5G infrastructure. We still don't know officially what is going to happen if whether Huawei, for example, or ZTE are going to be allowed at the trial stage. Where does Nokia feature in all of this?
So as of now, Nokia is involved in the trial with all the operators here. Okay, so we are trialing the equipment with all the operators, and for some of the equipment for trial has already come in. There is something called this Open RAN. Nokia is supporting Open RAN also. So in that case, if we have to integrate with any third-party component or with the core of some other company, we are open to do that. So that's for getting 5G for India. And 5G for India is not only the 5G radio. There are quite a few other pieces which go before the 5G radio comes in. And 5G radio depends upon the auction whenever it happens. But before that, for example, transport upgradation, that you have to increase the capacity of the backhaul. We are involved with all the operators in increasing that bandwidth. You have to virtualize your core. We are working on that, and we are deploying some of the largest virtual core environment here in India. So that's the 5G readiness. Then second, as I said, that the 5G capability development, we have already started manufacturing. And at the time when we would need it for India, we will have the radio products coming out of the factory for supporting India. We are having the people sitting in our Bangalore R&D lab, which is again one out of 4 largest R&D labs globally, again involved in 5G development. And similarly, managing and deploying the 5G network sitting out of the global. So the capability development is happening, manufacturing has started, we are involved in the trial, we are open with interfacing with any other third-party equipment.
Can you tell me whether Nokia, and I'm asking this because it's relevant, I'm asking simply because there are now new rules and regulations, and clearly the government has made no secret of its intent and its vision. Of all that you're mentioning, okay, so you are going to manufacture some of the parts and subparts in India. How much in a percentage way will be imported, and will any of those imports be from China?
Okay, so definitely for the overall manufacturing here in India, there are, from the supply chain perspective, we have a global supply chain and we have to import some of the parts because the local suppliers are not available here in India. But we are open to that as soon as the supply chain for components and supply chain for any other subsystem would be available from India, we can source that from India also. So our value addition and overall manufacturing is quite substantial and meets all the guidelines what has been put down by the government.
You have told me that Nokia is right now is partnering at the trial stage with all the operators. Now, Mr. Mukesh Ambani at the 43rd Annual General Meeting has made it clear that he is going to be using a homegrown and a Reliance-built back-end infrastructure. Bharti Airtel, for example, we know has a long-standing relationship with Ericsson. So that leaves only Vodafone Idea. Is Nokia 100% sure that it's going to be part of India's 5G story?
Okay, so let me just give you some perspective of our position here, and I will come to your question also. Nokia is #1 in the market at the moment. We are the market leaders. So whenever it comes to the 4G market share and 4G radio market share, we are #1. And we are #1 on the radio part also with Bharti, with Vodafone Idea. And the relationship with all the operators has been quite long-standing and quite satisfactory. And it's not only the radio part, it is beyond the radio part also. For example, in IP, in optics, in core, that's where again our relationship has been there with all the operators. So again, you would be surprised to know that we are the only one equipment manufacturer who is having working relationship with all the four up to that extent. So with that leadership position, I'm 100% sure, much more than confident that we will have a leadership position in 5G also here in India. Because we are working very well with Bharti. We have a large base there with Bharti. We have a large base with Vodafone Idea. We have a relationship with Jio also on some of the other components on the core side. So it's very good foundation which we are sitting on, and very confident of taking it towards a leadership position in 5G.
Can you tell us how the trial period has been so far? You know, we've been hearing about it for so long, and you know, India
Yeah.
missed the bus on 2G, 3G, 4G, and this is a government that said will not be late on 5G. Are we on track? Are we at pace with other countries? Because it seems as if we may not be, at least to an observer. So I thought I'll ask an insider.
Okay, so yeah, I think till last year we were very much on track with 5G, and then yeah, because of this pandemic situation and because of some other challenges in the industry, I would say yes, it has slowed down a little bit. But at the same time, from trial perspective, as I said, yeah, the trials equipments are getting ordered and should be getting delivered very soon. One other good thing which happens is that number one, the technology is getting stable on 5G. So that means, for example, if we have, let's say, about 83 contracts globally and about 32 networks which are live now. So with that stable technology, now the trial period which will be required would be much, right? All the interfaces have been proven, all the functionality has been proven. So that will curtail the trial period. And second, for last couple of years, we have been working on the use cases, the interface use cases and all that. So I think from that perspective, I would say, yes, little bit of a challenge because of the COVID, but we have a good position to catch up very fast and launch and come to the same level as some of the developed countries very soon.
Which are the countries that are doing better than us or are more advanced at a more advanced juncture than us when it comes to 5G? I'm just trying to get a sense of how much we need to catch up, and with how many countries we need to catch up.
Yeah, I think that's what I said, Nantara, that yes, it is a couple of countries which have launched 5G. So for in Asia Pacific, Japan, Korea, then a couple of countries in the Middle East, and then Americas, which has launched. So I would not be too much concerned about that as of now, because even if we do as per the roadmap, whatever is there in front of us today, the gap between the developed countries and us on 5G would be still shorter than 4G and still shorter than 3G. So we have caught up quite a lot, and it's a long road, right? The technology will stay for another 10 years. So I would say that we would be able to quickly, and knowing the India base, knowing that from traffic perspective, India is one of the most data consuming country. So the taste of data has come to the consumers. So even if we stand with the roadmap which we have in front of us, we should be able to catch up very fast.
So if data is the new oil, as they say, Sanjay Malik, can you give us a little sense of how much oil has been consumed in India? Like, you would have seen a massive data surge right, during the pandemic. And one must applaud the telecom companies and the internet service providers that we've all been able to work from home. Our children have been able to study from home. The, whatever little bit of the economy was functioning was all happening from a lockdown from everyone's homes, right? But I thought you could give us some interesting data on the kind of data surge that we've seen since 22nd of March.
Yeah, so as I said that before the pandemic itself, we were having heavy consumption of data, and after 22nd of March, again, number one, the traffic has shifted. So some traffic has shifted from the CBD area to the residential area because of working from home culture, and then because of all these applications, because of the kids, because of all the social media, whatever has been going on, there has been a surge of about 20 to 30% on the overall data volumes. So initially in April, when it's so it is 20 to 30%, and initially in April when we started.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so in April when we had this outbreak, we were maintaining the networks, frankly, that we were able to just make the machinery work. But in May and June, in spite of the difficult situation, now we are adding the capacity. Now we are adding the new sites, so as to meet the requirements or the demand which is coming from the market, and both on the mobile side and on the fixed line side.
If the government were to say enough is enough, we have to now go ahead with the 5G auction, enough of consultation and all of that stuff, we're going to start now, the auction process, let's say, in the short term, ASAP. Is India ready, or a lot more still needs to be done?
I would say from technology perspective, competency perspective, whatever was the preparedness of the network which was supposed to be done for 5G, from that perspective, we are ready. And as I said, that the engineers are getting trained, there is software which is getting developed. So from that perspective, we are ready.
Sanjay Malik, you are the India boss of a very large multinational company, which has also gone through various transitions, right? Like we'll never forget the Nokia handsets, the snake games and all of that. Now you are in the serious business of providing infrastructure, the back end and all of that. As India wants to become Aatmanirbhar Bharat, it is trying to close doors on imports, looking inwards like many other countries. A lot of countries are turning protectionist. But how difficult is it at such a stage for a multinational company to do business in India? How difficult is it for you to go to your global chief, your super boss, and seek higher allocation for India?
All right, yeah, very pertinent question. So I think we have this 25 years of history here in India at the moment. And through these years, these kind of competitive changes, these kind of regulatory changes have always come in, right? It's not that the first time this kind of a regulatory change or this kind of a competitive scenario is building up. So it always happens. And at the same time, our objective is to serve our customer the best way. And on the basis of that, we have competed with all these other competitors, whether belonging to one particular country or other, and we have competed with some of the homegrown solution maker also in the past. So I think our objective is to bring the best technology in the world. Our objective is to serve our customer the best. And while going through this journey of 25 years, we have, on the basis of our strengths only, we have established ourselves as number one here, as the undisputed leader. So I would say that going forward also, these geopolitical changes are something which are not in our control. It's for the nation to decide on that. we will continue to serve our customers and keep on providing the best technology in the world to India.
So you are not scared that today we are trying to replace and substitute Chinese imports, Chinese companies, that tomorrow as India wants to become Atmanirbhar, it might want to substitute imports and solutions from other countries. I'm only asking this because, I'm talking to a large multinational company. It's great to get insights.
No, I would not be scared about that. And at this particular moment, whatever we are talking about, the homegrown solutions, I would say that there has to be complementary way going forward between the MNCs and the homegrown solution. And why do I say complementary? That if you talk about the radio technology and the core technology, it requires large investment. Okay, so few years back, we used to have about 8 to 9 network equipment manufacturers, and now it has consolidated down to 4 to 5. And reason for that is that making money out of this, you need scale, and you need global scale. India business is only 4 to 5% of the overall global business. So you need a global scale because the technology changes. You have to invest more money into R&D to come out with a new technology. So you need scale to make good business sense out of it. And from that perspective, I would say that there should be a complementary way of finding a coexistence. And yes, some of the people like us keep on doing our focus on the radio technology, core technology, but then there are quite a few other fields like the 5G add-ons, like the analytics, like some of the software solutions, like some of the AI kind of topics which have to be covered in 5G, because 5G will open up quite a few other opportunities. So my thinking would be that these homegrown solutions and homegrown companies should focus on that to become complementary with the MNCs who have these radio technologies.
That's a great point that you're making over there, Sanjay. So when you open up yourself for partnerships and you rely on a 25-year-old history with India, knowing that globally there are only a few companies that are anyway doing this, building scale, irrespective of whether, India's largest industrialist, fourth richest in the world during the time of this interview, is also looking at pioneering new technology, pioneering a new company for infrastructure. I want to ask you, Sanjay Malik, with Nokia contributing 4 to 5% of global turnover, how crucial is India? How are you seeing this actually grow in the long term? And what kind of investment plans do you have?
Okay, so I would say that from the India telecom industry market size is about 5% of the global market size. We contribute a little bit more, but overall India telecom market size, which would be available for some of the manufacturers, would be 4 to 5% of total market. From our perspective, we will continue to work here with the regulatory, work here with all our customer partners, and we are looking at expanding our manufacturing base here from radio to some of the other technologies, and we are currently evaluating that. And at the same time, from R&D perspective, again, it's a continuous process that more and more R&D capacities keeps coming to India. So from those two perspectives, there is definitely more and more investment which will happen as we go along.
So you're not going to give me a figure?
No, sorry, I would not be able to give that figure. We never gave that figure earlier also.
I know, I'm trying my luck. But Sanjay Malik, it's been great having you on the show. You really helped us understand a lot more about this, and that's Nokia for you, ladies and gentlemen, with big plans for India's communications market, and 5G in particular, have almost 15,000 employees, and will be deploying more capital, has big investment plans, particularly for 5G. Many thanks for tuning in.